daughters of the land. The king of the city is marching. Stand up high to the pride of the land. The founding fathers of labor, and our time to serve is now. The glory of the new Edo nation will forever be our pride. Beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, you're the heartbeat of Nigeria. Beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, stars are singing over you. You're the land people dream to be. Our treasures are found in all nations, and our greatness is second to none. Our history forever shall be written, how our kings have endured all times. Our people cultured in unity, our hearts beats for the land. Rich culture, stories of heroes, legacies forever be. Beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, you're the heartbeat of Nigeria. Beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, stars are singing over you. You're the land people dream to be. Unite and stand with each other. Forgive and let it go. Together we can stand, come what may. Edo future lies in us. Teach our children to teach their children what our fathers taught. To fear and love the Creator, only then shall we succeed. Beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, you're the heartbeat of Nigeria. Beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, stars are singing over you. You're the land people dream to be.
Well, those are neither fans of Bayelsa Queens nor fans of Rivers Angels. They are actually, many of them, sports journalists who were sitting right behind me at the press gallery of the Samuel Ogbomudia Sports Complex yesterday during the final of the Betsy Obaseki Women's Football Tournament between ITO Cup winners, Bayelsa Queens, and the champions of the Nigerian Women Football League, Rivers Angels. And they were so excited that they took sides. Some were supporting Rivers Angels and some were supporting Bayelsa Queens. And you were hearing inside the net and over the bar typical Nigerian fans chants when a penalty kick or a corner kick, free kick is to be taken. And that was during the penalty shootout. Eventually it was Bayelsa Queens, the ITO Cup Queens, who triumphed 4-3 on penalty. So they are the first ever champions of the Betsy Obaseki Women's Football Tournament. And they go home with a cash prize of 5 million naira, courtesy of the sponsors, private sector driven sponsorship of the Betsy Obaseki Women's Football Tournament. So fantastic outing, a glorious end to the Betsy Obaseki Women's Football Tournament. Despite the torrential rain, the Samuel Ogundia Stadium, the pitch, fantastic. It was able to withstand it, and we still had a beautiful game. Champions versus champion. In a way, it is the Nigerian Super Cup, and it happened right here in Benin City. In the third place match, Edo Queens, they were able to beat FC Robo Queens 5-3, also on penalties. So Edo Queens finished third, Rivers Angels second, and Bayelsa Queens the winners. We'll talk more on the Betsy Obaseki shortly. We saw fantastic games all over Europe last night, especially the one that we saw at Anfield, Liverpool versus Manchester City. Mo Salah, out of this world, fantastic solo goal, and he was also very much involved in the first goal for Liverpool. But Manchester City, they will not lie down. They came storming back, and every time Liverpool went ahead, Manchester City got the equalizer. So 2-2 that ended, and some said it was 1 point to Liverpool, 1 point to Manchester City, but the real winners were Chelsea, because they remained top of the table. And we'll also be asking the question, what's happening to all the big clubs in Europe? Bayern Munich lost last night. Real Madrid also lost. Paris Saint-Germain, this time nobody missing. The triumvirate, they were complete yesterday. We had Neymar, we had Kylian Mbappe, we had arguably the greatest footballer of all time, Lionel Messi. They were all there, but they lost 2-1 yesterday. So these and other issues we'll be discussing on this edition of Sports Fiesta. It is the first episode for this week. My name is Saliu Ibrahim, but they call me the Sports Ibracadabra because I bring magic to sports presentation and analysis. Agosa Egbekan, the Sports Maestro, and CJ the Maestro are on the show this morning. Guys, great to have you on the show. Let's begin at home. Let's begin from the Betsy Obaseki Women's Football Tournament. We saw the climax yesterday. Rivers Angels versus Bayelsa Queens. Fantastic game, in spite of the rain. We saw free-flowing football. I was really impressed at the way the girls were able to move the ball on that pitch, and we could not get a winner after 90 minutes, so it went straight to penalties. And Bayelsa Queens, the triumph, showing that they are deserving winners of the Aito Cup. Remember that in the Aito Cup, they even beat Rivers Angels 5-0 in the semi-final before they got to the final, and they beat FC Robo Queens 4-2 also at the Samuel Ogundia Stadium. It seems the Samuel Ogundia Stadium is their second home. They seem to be so much at home. Some are even suggesting that they should relocate to Benin City and maybe, I don't know, become... We already have Edo Queens. I know what they will call them, Bayelsa Queens in Benin City. All right, guys, Bayelsa Queens, champions of the Betsy Obaseki Women's Football Tournament.
Congrats to them. I think the fact that they won... on the same turf, on two occasions, different occasions, and they've won titles. That shows that they are good, and also they played on a fantastic pitch. Yes, it was that they were the better team on the day. So for me, winning the Aito Cup wasn't a fluke, and now they came here again, and they saw and they conquered. So that tells you that the camaraderie in camp, immediately after that Aito Cup, and the way they focused and also concentrate on this Betsy Obaseki championship told you that yes, if you have to win, you have to be consistent, honestly, because one would have expected, okay, after all the celebration following the Aito Cup victory and all that, maybe that could, that could a bit and affect them in their preparation and all that. Hey, they just built on their fantastic celebration, and that was how they came into Benin. We saw how they went through their group stages and all that, so they were so confident. Even when they played their last group game, we saw them book a place to the semi-finals. I was wow, because despite the heavy downpour, they were still able to play under that rain. So for me, I think the better side won yesterday. Also congrats to Rivers Angels. They also tried their best, and I saw some players there of which, if they continue the way they are playing right now, they are going to go very far. Precious Christopher and Miriam. That girl, she's slim, she's small, but she's with a big aging. Honestly, talking about the Rivers Angel player.
The number 7.
Number 7, yeah, Miriam. Fantastic player. And also for Bayelsa Queens, I think that is what you expect from two teams who are powerhouses in Nigerian women's football, because it's a final, and at the end of the day, the defense, the resilience in defense shows that yes, the two managers are good and they were not able to concede. But penalty is a lottery; it could go either way. Even the best players in the world today also miss penalties. So for me, I think the better side won because they were able to convert their penalty shootouts than that of Rivers Angels. But all the same, I think Rivers, from what I've seen, they are good to go in the women's continental engagement. But for Bayelsa Queens, let them bask in the euphoria and also enjoy their title.
And again, CJ, you and I were sitting together at the Samuel Ogunria Stadium yesterday. We saw the coach of Bayelsa Queens do exactly the same thing that the coach of Bayelsa United do in the final of the ITO Cup. When it was time for penalties, he changed his goalkeeper, and I think she made 2 saves. Yeah, I didn't quite see that of Evelyn. Evelyn,
I think you're correct.
She made 2 saves. She made 2 saves, and it was an inspired substitution. Bring on a goalkeeper in the last minute of the game, knowing that you are going to penalties. Apparently, she has a better pedigree in penalties, and that's why she was brought in, and she was their heroine yesterday.
And that's what we keep advising. We keep advising coaches to understand how football is played. 1 minute to go, a coach understands that I have a goalkeeper who is good at catching penalties. What do? You bring in the goalkeeper, take off the other one. It's not like she's not good enough, but you know that in goalkeeping, some goalkeepers are better in some situations. David De Gea does not catch penalties, but we know that at Chelsea, for instance,
he caught one.
That's like the first one since 2014.
Yeah.
And then we know at Chelsea, of course, Kepa is better than Mendy in terms of penalties, but in the goalkeeping, in the general goalkeeping world, we know Mendy is a better goalkeeper. So you've got to understand one of these details. Some of these details, as a coach, you don't have to.
Rivers Angels will not change their goalkeeper, but she also saved a penalty.
So it shows she also understands, what it means to save penalties as well. So I think the advice now has to be for coaches, if you know you're going into a cup competition, ensure you have 1 out of your 2 or 3 goalkeepers registered for the competition, as you have at least one goalkeeper that is good, in terms of catching penalties, because the game may go into that, and you don't want to be losing a match or losing out during kicks from the penalty mark because you refuse to register a goalkeeper who is good at catching penalties. It's something Enyimba did many years back that aided them to win the CAF Champions League. So it's nothing. There's nothing wrong about doing that. If you know the game is not heading your way, there's nothing wrong with seeing the game out. We saw how the goalkeeper of Bayelsa Queens was trying to delay and drag the match, ensure that the match gets into that moment where they could bring in another goalkeeper to get the job done. Because I'm sure the coach may have said, look, by the time we get to the 80th minute or 85th minute and the goals are not coming, don't worry, try to see out the game. Ensure you waste as many minutes as possible. So we head into penalties. We know we have a good goalkeeper here who can, of course, get the job done. Remember, when she was taken off, she didn't even complain.
Yeah,
it was as if they had arranged everything to work in.
And even the goalkeeper that was coming in, I was watching her when she was doing her pre-match warm-up. The way she was excited, the way she was talking to her players, you knew that she just felt, okay, this is my time to shine. I'm going to be the hero in here.
Yeah, and she's of course the hero. For me, she's just the man of the match, even though she didn't even play up to maybe 6 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But those crucial saves were important for Bayelsa Queens. And also remember that yesterday we saw the governor's wife, Gloria Diri. She was there to cheer the ladies. Before the match started, she granted an interview and said, look, I'm the mother.
So many first ladies.
I'm the mother of Bayelsa Queens. I'm here to support my children. And you know how it is. You can't have the commissioner for youth and sports, Bayelsa State, Daniel Igali there, and of course the first lady, and then you don't.
So massive support.
So I think what Bayelsa did was they ensured they did not concede. Because they know their strength, and you've got to go for it.
Fantastic. And as we said, talking about the dignitaries who was there, of course, the host of the competition, Betsy Obaseki, the First Lady of Edo State, the wife of the Executive Governor of Edo State, she was there, of course. And then we also had the Deputy Governor of Edo State, someone who's so passionate about sport rights, Honorable Comrade Philip Shaibu. Also there, his lovely wife, Mary Ann Philip Shaibu, was there. The First Lady of Bayelsa State, as you mentioned, the First Lady of Osun State, the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Chief Sunday Dare, was also there, and so many people, special guest of honor was even the former governor of Edo State, Lucky Igbenedion. He was there, and rightly, the commentators at the stadium accredited him with being also very passionate about sports.
Sure.
I know he used to be a governor who, just as the deputy governor now, although he didn't play for Bendel Insurance, but he used to also, it was before my time in Benin City, but I had that, and I remember watching some games that the governor played. That's the former governor, Lucky Igbenedion. He is fantastic at football. I've seen him play. I've seen him score some great goals, and they told me of a story of how he tackled one of our friend who is now out of the country. This guy that was at EBS.
Joshua
Bada.
I said he tackled him hard, and Oni Obada flew out of the pitch. That's the story I had. And whenever the then Governor Lucky Igbenedion sees him, he just smiles at him and says, my guy. Right, so it was a great time that we had at the Samuel Ogbomedia Stadium yesterday. Sorry we couldn't bring you the post-match interviews because there was no post-match. Unfortunately, I was like, oh God, this rain, why didn't you fall all day? Yeah. I mean, from the morning till we got there, it was sunny all day. But just as after they finished as the girls were doing their pre-match warm-up, that's when the heavens just opened. And I've not seen that kind of heavy rain at the same time. It for about an hour, it was just pouring down. We had to take cover. Even those of us that were under the covered stands, we had to take cover behind the decks at the press stands. And you had to we're forming human shield and hide it. The rain was just, it was too much yesterday. And for the first time, I saw the Samuel Ogbomedia Stadium waterlogged. I've never seen that pit like that, no matter how much it rains. So that tells you the volume of rain that came down yesterday. But amazingly, even when the referees came after the rain subsided, and the rain never even completely stopped. Even when we're coming back home, it was still drizzling.
But it wasn't as much as before.
Yeah, but the rain did not stop. It was still coming down. However, the referee came at one point, and in some patches of the pitch, you could see that there was so much water, so the ball could not bounce. But when the game started, and before the end of the first half, the water had the stadium had sipped the water, so we could still actually have a beautiful game of football. So that goes to show that that pitch is very well planned, and it's in excellent condition. So I'm really happy about that. But unfortunately, because of the rain, the match was supposed to start at about later 6 p.m. The closing ceremony was supposed to start at 4 p.m. It started around 4:30, but everything was going according to plan until the rain just opened, and that set us back like 2.5 hours before we could actually have the match, and it was a fantastic encounter. And so finally, the curtains are down on the Betsy Obaseki Women's Football Tournament. For 1 week, we enjoyed a festival of football. The beautiful ones playing the beautiful game, and we say congratulations to all the 12 teams that participated in this competition. And for the winners, that's those that have won stuff, we've got to say, well, every team won, because every team that for participating, you get at least 500,000. But for Bayelsa FC Lobo Queens that finished third, they were beaten on penalties by Edo Queens. They got 1 million naira. Edo Queens that finished third got 2 million naira. Rivers Angels, who were beaten on penalties by Bayelsa Queens, got 3 million naira, which was supposed to be the first prize before. But the sponsors were so impressed with the tournament that they decided to, okay, look, you know what, let us just increase the money. So Bayelsa Queens, who won it, got 5 million naira. Women's football at its best. So we look forward to next year.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking forward to the next edition of the tournament. We hope it's going to be bigger than this. The first edition of it saw 12 teams. we're hoping that maybe that would increase by 4. And also, the teams there that took part in this one have, of course, made themselves millionaires by finishing at least in the top 4. So let's see how it gets to go. Well, we hope they do more than they did in this edition. I think we must give thumbs up to the organizing committee, that's the local organizing committee, and of course the deputy governor, as well as the wife of the governor, Abeti Obaseki, for this initiative. It's a massive one.
Okay, let's go on this break. We'll be right back.
Honey?
Yes, dear.
I'm tired of the poor power situation. Every time I stock the fridge, I come back to spoiled food. I think it's about time we go solar.
How?
With Vertical Solar, we can have all our appliances and electronics powered by solar, and they allow us to pay small. We can pay installmentally with as low as 36,000 naira monthly, spread across 12 months.
Tell me more.
I know you like the idea of paying small. Vertical Solar range of products can power all household devices, including air conditioners and water pumps.
What are the benefits of solar power?
We are talking uninterrupted power supply, no monthly electricity bill, no more spending on generator, and no more generator noise.
I see. But how can I locate Vertical Solar?
Head now to 28 Country Home Metal Road off Ajib Junction, Sapele Road, Benin City, or Blossom Mall beside Stop to Shop stores, DBS Road, Asaba. Or you can call them on 0816 170 1105 or 0703 623 4843. You can also send them an email on info@verticalsolar.com.ng.
Vertical Solar, your lifetime power partners.
The way when my customers they take they enjoy this Checkers custard and since I open shop today now so Checkers custard and just they ask me,
Madam, summer me one big container of that your Checkers custard, because the way my picking them they lick plates every time I give them, it they torture me for body.
Yeah, mommy don't buy Checkers custard again. CHECKERS Checkers custard.
Checkers custard or we no get rival.
Checkers custard. Now this one be custard.
Milo! Yes!
Tell me first, why do I give you Milo every morning?
Because every day I play like a baller, I run like a sprinter, I learn like a scholar, so I need all the energy I can get. You see?
I see very well.
Give your kids winning energy. Milo Active Go, with the goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa, helps them make the most of every day. Milo, the energy to go further.
Indomie welcomes you back to school. Have a session filled with lots of fun and excitement. Stay safe, stay healthy. Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
Uncle Dentist, what be cavities and how Colgate take they protect my teeth from cavities? Shey they use comfort?
No, dear. Now, hole for teeth they cause most tooth pain will be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, take brush every day. The confirmed formula could help keep natural calcium inside our teeth. We could protect them from tooth decay.
Time don't reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate. Because Colgate locks calcium in.
And the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
What if I tell you that banking can be way easier than you know? Introducing the Key Mobile app from Keystone Bank that makes banking in today's world as easy as a click of a button. Imagine being able to open a fully functional account within 2 minutes, getting your debit or credit card delivered to you within 48 hours, and increasing your transaction limit. Shop and make payment in style using the NQR code feature. Simply scan, verify, and pay. Plus, the transfer feature allows you send money to phone numbers, withdraw or deposit cash at the nearest branch or agent location, and settle transaction disputes while sitting on your toilet seat. Download or upgrade the Key Mobile on your mobile devices from Google Play or Apple Store today. Key Mobile. Go branchless.
All right, welcome back to Sports Fiesta live on 92.7 KFM Benin City with me, Sali Ibrahim, the Sports Ibrakadabra, CJ the Maestro, and Egusa Egbekan, the Sports Maestro. Okay, we're taking a break from football. Of course, today's Monday. We have 1 hour dedicated to football in the evening. But don't worry, that doesn't mean that we're not talking football this morning. We will. But let's just quickly look at other sports before we come to football. Let's talk boxing. Well, Frank Warren, the promoter of Tyson Fury, believes that his next fight is going to be in the United Kingdom after he takes on Deontay Wilder in the third of the trilogy fight. And we expect that this is going to be the final chapter, except, of course, if I don't think it's going to happen, but if we have another draw between these two behemoths of boxing, then you might have a fourth installment.
Yeah, it's possible we may have a fourth installment, but after 3 fights, well, I don't know who wants to go back in there again to fight. It's difficult to say, but if it happens in a way of a draw, then maybe in future we could see them fight again. But then someone has got to win this. I think either Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury, he has to settle the score, try as much as possible to ensure that either you're winning by technical knockout or you're winning by knockout. I will always post for Tyson Fury any day, any time, because we know how good he is in the boxing ring. We know he's never lost before. We know Deontay Wilder, the only loss he has in his career has to be against Tyson Fury. The first time they fought, it was a draw. The second time, it was a loss, a technical one for Tyson Fury. So this time around, I don't think it will be any different from the second time that they fought. This should be the biggest, or maybe arguably the biggest we're going to see in the heavyweight division this year, apart from the one Joshua a few days ago had with the opponent, talking about Alexander Usyk, which also he lost his major belts there. So let's see how this one gets to happen for the big man, talking about Tyson Fury.
Well, for Fury, I think for me, I haven't fought 4 times away from home. I think it's good that promoter is asking for him to return to UK. Well, for me, he has done really well, both in UK and outside UK. So this time, I think he should be wary of Deontay Wilder, honestly, because nobody expected that Anthony Joshua right now will be licking his wounds. But all the same, it's going to be a trilogy, and whoever gets to win for me will be a deserved winner, because we saw how Deontay fought in the first fight, which ended in a draw. If not that Tyson was really was strong enough to take those blows on the chin, he could have found it difficult to get off the canvas. But the second fight, yes, he won clean because he was able to get at the legs of Deontay Wilder. But this trilogy, well, however it goes, I think right now the heavyweight is beginning to shape up in different forms, because not all what we anticipated that is happening at the moment. So let's see how it happens. But whichever way, I think it's good for him to return to UK after 4 fights away from home. But he has
he's fought in the United States since, and he just absolutely loves the United States, and the fans there love him too. He's a showman. He knows how to really get the fans behind him. He came to the ring wearing the United States flag, and it's just been a wonderful for him. And he says that just a week to his fight with Deontay Wilder, he is feeling terrible, and what that means is that he's been sparring sometimes with 4 guys at a time. He's been putting a lot of work. He's been putting his body through torture, and he says it is good that if at this stage of your camp you do not feel terrible, then it means that you didn't do something right in camp. So this is how you are supposed to feel if you really put in the work in camp ahead of your big fight. And so he says it's terrible, but it is good terrible that he's feeling right now. And for Tyson Fury, it's somebody that you've got to respect. Yeah, he has his own. Every boxer, they have this thing about them at some moments, no matter how friendly they are and everything. And he has said some pretty nasty things about his opponents. But what he said after Anthony Joshua lost to Alexander Usyk, I mean, it was just class from him, because people expected him to say, oh yeah, I told you he's, as he calls Anthony Joshua, the big dozer. I'm going to show him up. He's not in my class. You can see how he was beaten by somebody who is just coming from cruiserweight, so he's not a great champion. But he never said that. He said, look, I'm not one who will kick somebody when he's down. I don't like that. I prefer talking to somebody, my rival, when he's doing well, when he's the champion, when he's going for the title. That's when I talk to him. And it's not like he's just saying this, because he did the same thing when Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz the first time. He said the same thing, that he never said anything bad, anything negative about Anthony Joshua. It was instead Deontay Wilder who was running his mouth about Anthony Joshua. Then Tyson Fury was classy and said he believes Anthony Joshua will bounce back. And he told Anthony Joshua, even gave him advice, said, look, there is no perfect act for engaging in the sport of boxing. That sometimes when you come with a plan and you see that it's not working, just forget it. Let your hand go. Leave everything in the ring. Just know that you gave your best. That's how you tackle boxing. And if it doesn't work, no problem. Go home, recuperate, and come back stronger. So he believes that Anthony Joshua is going to bounce back from this fight. So he's a really nice guy. I remember that in his fight with Deontay Wilder, the one that he knocked out Deontay Wilder, the second fight, he came wearing a mouth guard that had Nigeria written on it, and even had the green, white, green. In fact, even his gloves was green, white, green. I don't know the strategy behind that. I don't know the story behind that. Maybe it was Anthony Joshua that gave it to him, or he was just mocking Anthony Joshua, or maybe he was actually mocking Deontay Wilder, because I heard of that fight. Deontay Wilder claimed he's from Nigeria, and you know what? Guess what I'm supporting in this third fight?
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
Because Deontay Wilder did not just say, once you are Nigerian, you are my friend. I don't care where you come from. I don't care who you are. So long as you are Nigerian, you and me are blood brothers. So Deontay Wilder claims he's a Nigerian, and guess what? He said he has traced his ancestry to Edo State. And even his last post, you will see him, proud Edo king and everything. So 100% I am supporting Deontay Wilder to win this fight. And then after, I hope that Anthony Joshua reclaims his title. So we'll have the battle of the Nigerians, and anybody can win, so long as a Nigerian holds all 4 world titles. So we're looking forward to that big fight, Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. So we'll see what happens in that encounter. All right, let's go to another combat sports stories, and this time it concerns Khabib Nurmagomedov, the Eagle. He has retired, lightweight champion, defeated 29 fights in the MMA, and he retires as a legend. And he is a fan of Manchester United, a very good friend of Cristiano Ronaldo, and he was at Old Trafford to watch Manchester United play out a 1-1 draw with Everton. And guess who else was at the stadium? Of course, the great man himself, Sir Alex Ferguson. Usain Bolt, who's also a huge fan of Manchester United, was there. And even Patrice Evra, former Manchester United player, they were all there, and there was this picture that they took together. So, naturally, whenever you see Khabib, you want to ask him, are you coming back to MMA? Are you coming back to the UFC and everything? But Khabib once again said, look, I am done. I am not returning to the UFC. So he has confirmed that he is going to stay retired. Remember that after he defeated Justin Gatlin, he just took off his gloves, left them on the pitch, on the canvas and in the octagon, and he said, that's it, I have retired. And even Dana White was shocked, because he said Khabib and his father had that plan to go 30 fights undefeated. So that was the plan, and now that it's 29 fights, he's hoping that Khabib will come back. And he even traveled to Dagestan to meet Khabib and spoke to him, but Khabib told him, no, I promised my mom that I'm just going to do this one more fight to honor my dad's memory. His father sadly died at 57 last year from COVID-19 complications. So Khabib said he doesn't want to fight without that. The mother told him, I don't want you to fight without your father by your side. And he just made her allow him to do one more fight, which was against Justin Gaethje, and he did that, and that's it. He eventually won that fight and he retired. So he said he's not coming back. And guess what someone else did immediately? Khabib posted pictures of himself at Old Trafford holding the Manchester United jersey, Cristiano Ronaldo and everything. Guess who did his own? Conor McGregor, notorious. He actually is a fan of Manchester United also, and he supports Cristiano Ronaldo, and immediately after Khabib and seeing all the attention Khabib was getting at Old Trafford, he also posted his own picture with Old Trafford jersey, with a Manchester United jersey, supporting the club. So it's interesting that both of them are fans of Cristiano Ronaldo. Both of them are fans of Manchester United.
Well, for Khabib, I think he has seen it all. There's absolutely nobody that is coming out fresh that he has not fought. So he has fought everyone, he has won, and he has also made a promise to his dad, to his mom, that he wasn't going to the octagon once again. So for me, maybe because of the kind of fighter that he is, and the kind of money that he pulls, and the kind of crowds, because of his personality, maybe that's the reason why Dana White still wants to see him in the octagon. But for someone who has already made it clear, I think if it's time for him to maybe make a U-turn, he could make an announcement that he's coming back to UFC. But for now, I think he left as the best fighter, and I think he has to remain that way, because for me, if not that his dad passed on, he would have still been ruling the division. So for now, I think he has to face some other things. Maybe when it's time, to just have a rethink, he could do that.
Okay.
Khabib is 33 now. He's considered one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time. I remember when he retired October last year, some persons felt, okay, look, he's going to come back again to it happened for him. He has 29 clean sheets, and that's not a small achievement in the MMA. It's not a small achievement in the UFC. This guy has done everything there is to do in terms of the UFC. He has seen everything there is for anybody to see in the octagon. So I don't think he forgot maybe his belt, or maybe he forgot any of his shirts there. So he has to stay retired. He said, I don't think anything will tempt me back, and we believe him.
All right, so Khabib Nurmagomedov saying that he's going to stay retired. All right, let's go to football now and look at what happened over the weekend. First, let's go through the results, just the results of the English Premier League matches, and then we will analyze, of course, the big game, Manchester City at Anfield versus Liverpool.
Okay, in the Premier League, Manchester United, it started with them on Saturday. Well, they played a 1-1 draw with Everton. Burnley played out a 0-0 draw with Norwich City. For Chelsea, they trashed Southampton 3-1. Leeds United pipped Watford 1-0. By the way, Watford have lost their coach. He's been sacked already. Yeah. Wolverhampton Wanderers beat Newcastle United 2-1, while Brighton and Hove Albion played out a 0-0 draw with Arsenal Football Club. Let's also look at the Sunday results in the Premier League. Crystal Palace played a 2-2 draw with Leicester City. Kelechi Iheanacho was one of those who
on his birthday, his 25th birthday,
happy birthday
scored
to
a
him.
goal. Yeah.
Tottenham Hotspur also, they came back to winning ways, beating Aston Villa 2-1. West Ham United lost at home to Brentford, 2-1. That's West Ham United 1, Brentford 2, and Liverpool played out a 2-2 entertaining draw with Manchester City at Anfield. I enjoyed myself during the course of this
game of the weekend.
Absolutely.
Absolutely fantastic.
So
some will even say game of the season so far.
I mean, that was a classic. Absolutely.
Yeah, but sometimes happen. Pep Guardiola felt that Liverpool should have had a man sent off for a second yellow card, and I think I agree with him.
Yeah.
And people are looking at, okay, why, how about the Kevin De Bruyne issue that happened in the Champions League? How about this one? What about this? Look, whataboutism does not solve issues, does not indicate that something wrong was right. I mean, yeah, we agree. I even personally said Kevin De Bruyne should have been sent off in the Champions League, and there were some other incidents that involved Manchester City that you felt, okay, their players maybe should have been cautioned or red carded. But what happened yesterday should also have been given as a second yellow card, which would have meant that Liverpool were reduced to 10 men. But the officiating was not spot on at that moment.
Well, Mina should have been sent off. I think he didn't have a bad game, but then he had a tough game, especially in the first half. You know how it is when you're asking someone who is above 34 to play as a right back in an unnatural position, for James Milner. He's a veteran.
So he's done that over and over again.
Yeah, he's done that over and over again. But when you're facing, I think Jack Grealish, and then sometimes Phil Foden, these guys are younger players, and you know how it is. They're usually faster than the other guys. So it's always tough for a coach to ask a player to do that. Remember, about 15 minutes to go, Jurgen Klopp brought in Joe Gomez, a much younger guy, even though he also that position is not his natural or favorite position on the pitch. Usually he's a centre back by trade. But then that particular decision from the referee maybe somehow marred the game, made it a bit controversial. We know how it is in terms of inconsistencies of referees in the Premier League. You have a decision to make as a referee. You have the luxury of going to see the video assistant referee, but sometimes they just choose to ignore that, even though we know sometimes they are told to do so, and then they just stick by the decisions that they have taken. I think they would need to keep reviewing some of these decisions and then see how they can better improve the game, because people invest a lot of money in the Premier League and you have got to give them the right officiating. If it doesn't happen like that, what's the point of investing? And then you keep investing. At the end of the day, the referees will end up ruining opportunities for teams to win matches.
All right, so that was the situation yesterday. Liverpool and Manchester City playing out an exciting 12 draw, but you've got to ask what will happen to Liverpool during the AFCON, because the African stars have really been their heartbeat this season, especially Mohamed Salah. He just can't stop scoring. Many are calling him the best player in the world right now.
Honestly, he has paid his dues. He has done really well, and once the AFCON starts, it's going to be a massive miss for Liverpool. And also Sadio Mane, the Senegalese captain, is fantastic. Anytime, any day, he is a man of the big occasions, and so it's something that he has to deal with, honestly, because he has no choice, and there's no coach, handling a national team that will say, okay, I have someone like this because of one or two issues, I'm not going to call them up. You need your best players to win, big titles, and so that is one thing that, not just Liverpool, all the teams that have African players, they are going to allow them to leave. If Gabon qualifies, for instance, Aubameyang will have to leave Arsenal to go and represent his country. So it's going to be really massive for Liverpool. That's why sometimes they are always against, the Nations Cup and all that, allowing their players to go. But yesterday, what we saw, even Little Foden, that young guy has become, a star player for Manchester City. He not only starts games, but the way he penetrates through the flank yesterday, and even Capital put a goal. Even the second goal, he started it. He gave put the ball through when the back hit came to Kevin De Bruyne, who just hit it to his left. So for me, I think what we saw yesterday was really classy. But for Jurgen Klopp, there's no option. He has to just do with the ones he has at his disposal by the time the African trio, leave for the Nations Cup.
Okay, let's go to the Spanish La Liga now and see what's happening. Real Madrid also lost back-to-back losses for them after they were beaten by Sheriff in the Champions League.
Absolutely. Well, then let's start from Saturday. In the La Liga Santander, Osasuna on Saturday beat Rayo Vallecano 1-0. Real Mallorca also beat Levante 1-0.
On Friday, there was a game, Athletic Bilbao beating Alaves 1-0.
Okay, all right. For Cadiz, they played a 0-0 draw with Valencia, and then Atletico Madrid beat Barcelona 2-0. I guess who was on the score sheet? Luis Suarez. Yes, he got the second goal for them. While Thomas Lemar, the former Monaco player, got the first goal of this game, and Luis Suarez actually assisted Thomas Lemar's goal to down Barcelona at the Wanda Metropolitano, right there in the heart of Madrid. Okay, so from there, let's go to the
Sunday the matches. Granada were able to beat Sevilla 1-0. Villarreal enjoyed a 2-0 win over Real Betis. Itafe and Real Sociedad played at a 1-0 draw, while Espanyol beat Real Madrid. And for Elche, they were 1-0 winners over Celta Vigo. These are the results from the Spanish La Liga.
Real Madrid, their first loss of the season. They've done well so far, but then in the manner that they lost, you just have to shake your head and say, "These guys, are you guys really ready for the season?" They considered 2 goals first before Benzema have the deficit for them.
Even Madrid scored the second goal, which was also chalked off. I don't know, 2 goals chalked off, against Real Madrid. I don't know how the manager will feel about that, but sometimes, if it's offside, it's offside.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's, there's a reason for it to be chopped off.
I think Hazard scored one of those ruled out goals for Real Madrid. It was a fabulous goal. But then when you have Benzema touching the ball, and he was in an offside position as he did that, to make a pass or to lay the pass for Hazard, who scored. But if it's offside, it's offside. There's nothing you can do about that. That's why we have the VAR.
All right, let's look at other leagues. Bayern Munich also lost. I don't know what football just went crazy this weekend.
Yeah, for the German Bundesliga, okay, let's see. On Saturday now, Borussia Dortmund beat Augsburg 2-1. Hertha Berlin lost at home to Freiburg 2-1. VfB Stuttgart beat Hoffenheim 3-1. For Wolfsburg, well, they were beaten by Borussia Mönchengladbach at home 3-1. And then for RB Leipzig, they trust Bochum 3-0. And then let's see the results for yesterday in the Bundesliga. Mainz 05 also were beaten at home by Union Berlin 2-1. Okay, I think our man talking about Taiwo Onihi, he was on the score sheet here. Let's see how many goals he was able to get for FC.
He got a brace yesterday.
He got a brace yesterday for FC.
And we learned now he has been invited to the Super Eagles camp in place of the injured Terence Murphy.
Absolutely. In fact,
Terence Murphy himself was supposed to be an injury replacement.
All right, so for Bayern Munich, like you know, they were beaten at home at the Allianz Arena 2-1 in the hands of Eintracht Frankfurt. One unlikely loss, in fact the first for them in the Bundesliga season. For Arminia Bielefeld, they lost at home to Bayer Leverkusen 4-0. So that's the results there for the Bundesliga.
Okay, for the Italian Serie A, it started on Friday. Cagliari and Venezia played at a 1-0 draw. Then on Saturday, Sassuolo were beaten at home by reigning champions Inter Milan. Torino lost the Turin derby to Juventus 1-0. Salernitana also enjoyed a 1-0 win over Genoa. Then on Sunday, Bologna trashed Lazio 3-0. Sampdoria and Udinese played at a 3-0 draw. Verona enjoyed a 4-0 win over Spezia. Fiorentina at home were beaten by table toppers Napoli 2-1, while AS Roma enjoyed a 2-0 win over Empoli. Atalanta at home were beaten by the Rossoneri. AC Milan 3-2.
Okay, so let's also talk about the French League 1, where that it started, I think, on Friday. Well, let's see if we can get you the result of that. All right, for Lens, they beat Reims 2-0 on Friday. Let's go to the Saturday results. Still talking about the French League 1. All right, for Montpellier, they played a 1-1 draw with Strasbourg. Nice beat Brest 2-1. While yesterday, of course, saw some interesting results coming from the French League 1. Rennes beat PSG 2-0. Lionel Messi, Angel Di Maria, Kylian Mbappe, and of course Neymar all started for PSG during the course of this game. But then they lost to Rennes away from home 2-0.
And Rennes, it's not like they have been fantastic. They were 14th on the table, struggling, but they were still able to beat Paris Saint-Germain.
Well, they lost series of matches going into this game, but then how they beat PSG still is something that shocks me. For Angers, they beat narrowly Mainz 3-2. Lorient played a 1-1 draw with Clermont Foot. Monaco trashed Bordeaux 3-0. And Nantes beat Troyes 2-0. For Lille, they also beat Marseille 2-0, while Saint-Etienne played a 1-1 draw with Lyon.
Okay, have we done the 5?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Before we look at your text messages, let's quickly give you this one. It concerns a player in the NBA. He plays for the Golden State Warriors, Andrew Wiggins. Well, he wanted to be exempted from taking the COVID-19 vaccine, but the NBA rejected his request. He was actually doing this because he said his religion, his beliefs does not allow this. So he wanted a religious exemption, but the NBA said, no, we are not going to allow this. Now, San Francisco, the city that his club is based in, their health rules require that those that are age 12 and over, and they are going to be attending large indoor events, they must have the COVID-19 vaccine. Okay, does that sound familiar? Because the state government is saying the same thing here, and people are screaming and saying, no, you cannot do that. It's not in Senaclam. This is Senaclam, and it's happening there. They've told you, look, if you are aged 12 and above, and you are going to be going into large indoor events, you must have the vaccine. They don't want to know whether your religion permits it or not, or whatever. These are the rules. It's either you have the vaccine or you do not attend such event. And because NBA, this guy plays for the Golden State Warriors, and if he's going to play in their home games, he must have the vaccine. So Initially, he requested for an exemption, but it wasn't granted, and now he has had the vaccine. So their coach, that's talking about the Golden State Warriors, coach Steve Kerr, he announced that Wiggins has taken the vaccine. Wiggins is 26 years old, and he's from Canada. He was the number 1 overall draft pick in 2014, so he has now been vaccinated, so he's free to play the Golden State Warriors first game of the regular season, which is coming up on the 21st of October. Okay, so that is the rule over there. If you are going to participate in the league, you have got to be vaccinated. And the same thing, Jurgen Klopp, the manager of Liverpool, he said recently that he doesn't understand why some people are against this vaccine. That's come on, it's for the health of everyone, for the safety of everybody, that he took it because he knows that if he gets COVID, he's going to suffer alone, and that is his own fault. Yeah, this is his responsibility. But again, he knows that if he contracts it, he is going to he risks infecting those that are around him, those who are not into his daily routine. You know, as a manager of a football club in England, he travels. He goes to, even because they play in the Champions League, he travels to different countries. So if he's not protected and he contracts COVID, he could give it to his family, he could give it to his staff, he could give it to. So that's why it is really important. And he said at Liverpool, the players that they've already achieved them 99% vaccination. So he does not understand why some people are refusing to take it. And it bothers you when you hear some players are getting infected. Just last week, N'Golo Kante of Chelsea was infected with COVID. That means that he has not yet been vaccinated. And remember, Conte, because he said, I think there was this heart issue that he had, maybe he was diagnosed with a long time ago, and he said at the beginning of the season, he even asked for permission to be exempted from training just because he didn't know. So I'm surprised that he did not take the COVID vaccine.
It's a vaccine, for goodness sake. I think what is playing in the minds of people is COVID-19. Take away your mind from it and then look at it as a vaccine. We have several vaccines in the world. People have taken them. So what's the big deal about COVID? Maybe because they think it's a novel. Even if it's a novel disease, you can still take your vaccine, protect yourself and your family members. Truth is this: if you contract the COVID and you're not going to infect other people, we will not be saying you should take the vaccine. Because, because look, the moment you pick it, the next person you're going to infect may be somebody who cannot or may not be able to withstand it as yourself. So at the end of the day, the person may end up dying from COVID-related complications, and you're responsible for that. Do you want, the blood of another person to be on your hands? So we have to try as much as possible to protect other people as well as we're protecting ourselves. I took it because I felt, look, if I contract it, I'm going to give it to another person. And I work in a place where you have access to a lot of people. And at home, you're also living in the midst of a lot of people as well. So you've got to protect yourself and then protect others as well.
All right, let's quickly look at the text messages.
Okay, we've got about 4 of them here. This one says, all right, it's quite lengthy. Greetings, sirs. I was there at the Samuel Ogbede Stadium yesterday, and I just want to correct. Okay. No. I don't think you saw the penalties. He's actually saying that the 2 penalties missed by Rivers Angels since the post and not saved. No.
I'm very sure. I'm very sure.
I'm sure the captain of Rivers United, that's Rivers Angels, she kicked hers and it was saved by the goalkeeper. I'm so sure of that. So
that's the one I did not particularly see, because I think I was on a call at that point. Oh no, I think I was. I was actually on the call. The call came in and I was trying to attend to that person because the person was also right there at the stadium. So it was even Wale Opatola that was calling me at that point. So I had to listen to him. So I was not really watching. So I don't know whether she saved it or it was off the post. But the first miss by Rivers Angels, it was saved by the goalkeeper. That one I saw it 100%. The goalkeeper dived and saved it. And then the one that Rivers Angels Bayelsa Queens also missed, it was the Rivers Angels goalkeeper that saved it.
Okay, both goalkeepers only. Okay. Look, I saw this fair and square, but let's not argue about that. Either way, congratulations to Bayelsa Queens for winning the Betty Obaseki Women's Football Tournament. I must say that it was a keenly contested encounter, not discrediting or disregarding Rivers Angels. I just hope they build on this and go on to win the CAF Women's Champions League. Okay. Lastly, I don't just know what happened to most of the Europe's big teams like Real Madrid, Barcelona, PSG, Bayern Munich, Ajax. They all just decided to lose their game. It is well. This is from Hassan, texting from University of Benin, Obawa. Hassan, thank you for that message. Can we take more?
Just one.
All right. Hello. Good morning, CJ the Maestro. You stand out as the. Okay. It says I'm the only one who doesn't really mention my full name. I think we said something about that before. Well, it says please. Okay. Greetings to Saliu and the Osa Agbeka. Thank you, Abat. Abat, thank you for your message.
All right. Tell them your full name.
Chijindu Vitoro.
Okay. So if you prefer to call him that, no problem. All right. Time for the final whistle.
If Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi scores that goal, they say it is world class. Mo Salah scores that goal because it's world class. The first touch, the first challenge he wins, then putting it on his right foot and finishing the situation was absolutely exceptional. This club never forget these things. So people will always talk about this goal for a long time. In 50 or 60 years' time, they will remember this goal. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp says Liverpool fans will talk about Mo Salah's goal against Manchester City in their 2-2 draw in the English Premier League yesterday. And that's the final whistle on Sports Fiesta this morning.
All right, that's our packet. We'll see you at 4 p.m. and this time we'll be talking football only, Balls of Fire. My name is Saliu Ibrahim. I've been doing this with CJ, the Maestro, and Negosa Agbeka. Bye-bye.
Trying to get or receive information through all corners of the globe requires unprecedented internet service. At Wireless NG, we provide fast, reliable, and affordable unlimited broadband internet service to homes and businesses. Service is currently available across Lagos and Benin. Visit us today at Wireless NG, 5 Ramaya, Ikenede Street off PZ Sapler Road, Benin City, or our marketing office, 70 Olowo Complex, Airport Road, Benin City, or call 0807-887-9960 or 0703-672-9147. Wireless NG, erasing internet boundaries.
We've had many battles, we have won some wars, but in all our struggles, we have lost loved ones. It may be cloudy outside, but not for very long. We will surely see the sun, 'cause we know no matter the weather, no matter the tide, we go there together. We stand by your side. No yawa, no problem. Go fit stand to fight us. We go stand together. We go beat them down.
Hey, say your body dey confirm with yo-yo bitters. You go dey wonder wetin e mean. Wetin e mean be say whether you dey take yo-yo bitters every day. Yo-yo bitters dey protection you against infections wey fit happen anytime. Na im be say you go dey take yo-yo bitters like food supplement abi medicine wey doctor give you. Na correct natural ingredients dey inside wey dey wash all yamayama. Ogbonge vitamins dey inside to help your body work well. E never finish o. Yo-yo bitters get minerals wey go boost your body immunity to fight sickness, disease and free radicals. Na im make am dey important to get yo-yo bitters for office, house and everywhere. Yo-yo bitters dey for liquid, gel plus including tablets. Make you quick go buy your own for pharmacy and medicine stores wey near you. Yo-yo bitters, make you dey clean inside out.
Here Here comes Wide Range Electricals Limited, manufacturer's representative and major distributor of top-class electrical materials, now in Benin City to serve you with standard electrical materials like Nigerian wires and cables, piping materials, latest variety of fancy switches, light fittings, extractors, ceiling and standing fans, plus major industrial materials like transformers of various kVA, armored cables, aluminum conductors, overhead materials, distribution boards, circuit breakers, household electrical appliances, and lots more. Sub-distributors, individuals, corporate bodies, retailers, builders are all invited. At Wide Range Electricals Limited, all electrical products and brands are sold according to specifications for maximum satisfaction of customers. Wide Range Electricals Limited, number 8, Igbesawa Street by Ikun Street Junction, off Akpakpava Road, Benin City. Telephone 0803-970-3517. Wide Range Electricals Limited, lighting your world.
This week we talk about what's more practical and comfortable in the business.
92.7 KUFM. From Benin City to the world.
This is 92.7 KUFM News.
It's 9 a.m. This is KUFM's news update on the hour. I am Gloria Vitalis. The 1999 Constitution gave it the power to determine and adopt any mode of elections. The Senate had on July 15th, in its amendments to the Electoral Act, inserted a clause which mandated the electoral umpire to rely on the verdict of the National Communications Commission before it could transmit results by electronic means. Senator Adamu Bokachua says bandits are no different from terrorists, insisting that both groups operate the same way. The senator is one of the latest high-profile Nigerians to have joined calls for bandits and their sponsors to be tagged as terrorists. Earlier on Sunday, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, called on the media Nigerians to stop referring to the criminals as bandits, insisting that they are terrorists. Governors and leaders of Southeast Geopolitical Zone will on Tuesday, October 5th, 2021, converge in Enugu State for an urgent meeting. The emergency meeting followed the renewed insecurity situation in the region in the past few weeks. The development has resulted in several deaths, including the killing of Dr. Chike Akunyili, husband of late Information Minister Professor Dora Akunyili in Anambra State. The Benue State Governor Samuel Ortom has raised alarm over an assassination plot by people believed to have been hired from Sudan to eliminate him. Governor Ortom, he disclosed this at Sesu Maria Pilgrimage Center, Ayati Gwe, East Local Government Area of the state, said he remains committed to the service of his people despite threats. And finally, 3 states of Adamawa, Plateau, and Kaduna are set to join the Federal Inland Revenue Service FIRS in its appeal against the judgment of the Federal High Court in Port Harcourt. Earlier, the court had in its judgment empowered Rivers State as the rightful collector of tax, among others. Meanwhile, the FIRS has challenged the judgment at the Court of Appeal, seeking the setting aside of the High Court verdict. And that's KUFM's news update on the hour. I am Gloria Vitalis saying thanks for listening. Good morning.
Will experience the overflow of abundant blessings and divine breakthrough from God from Monday 4th to Sunday 10th October. It is Turning Point 2021 with Bishop Dr. and Reverend Mrs. Abraham Chigbundu. Theme: Unstoppable Power. Time: 4 p.m. daily, Sunday 10th October, 8 a.m. Guest speaker: Bishop Godi Okafor, Apostle Lawrence Achidume, Apostle Innocent Okbe, and your host, Bishop Dr. Abraham Chigbundu. Ministering in songs: Moses Breeze, Freedom Voice Mass Choir, and other anointed song ministers. Special Futures, Ministers Consult, Wednesday 6th October 9 a.m. Singles Prophetic Release, Friday 8th October 9 a.m. Festival of Deliverance, Saturday 9th October at 6 a.m. Venue, the headquarters of Voice of Freedom Ministries Incorporated, 29 Adesua Grammar School Road, GRA, Benin City. Free transportation available. Call 08035704010 for more inquiries.
This Turning Point Conference, your helpers will locate you.